quiet. Do you want them to find you? Just stay still.
What do you do when the monster you've been fighting in the streets has been living in your house the whole time as someone close enough to be a family, and you brought her there yourself? Kang Park killed his first man at 19 and built an empire on the bones of everyone who doubted him. At 42, the Iron Dragon controlled half of Busan's underworld, the shipping routes, the politicians, the very air people breathed when they whispered his name in dark rooms. Men crossed the street when they saw him coming. Rivals sent their children abroad just to keep them out of his sight. But tonight, standing in the private terminal at Gimhae International Airport 3 hours ahead of schedule, Kang felt something he hadn't experienced in 20 years: fear. The Osaka deal had collapsed too easily. The Yakuza lieutenant had smiled too wide, agreed too fast, and Kang had learned long ago that easy money usually came with a body bag attached. So he'd walked out mid-negotiation, left his security detail behind, and caught the first flight home. Nobody knew he was coming. His driver navigated the midnight streets in silence while Kang stared at the city lights bleeding across the harbor. Somewhere in his cliffside estate, his 6-year-old son Ji-Hoon would be asleep, clutching that stuffed tiger. Somewhere in a separate wing, his wife Min-ah would be dreaming in their marriage of political convenience and calculated distance. He'd missed Ji-Hoon's last 4 birthdays. The thought sat in his chest like a knife he couldn't pull out. Sandra Wilfred hadn't slept in 6 months. Not really, not the kind of sleep where you actually rest. She'd perfected the art of the 2-hour nap, enough to keep her body functional, not enough to miss what happened in this house after midnight. The old monitoring room in the basement had become her chapel, her war room, her confessional. And tonight, watching the security feed of the main gate, she saw the sleek black sedan roll through. Her heart stopped. No, not tonight, not yet. She'd planned for 3 more days. 3 more days to gather the last pieces of evidence, to secure the exit route, to make sure the boy would survive what was coming. But Kang Park was home early, and everything was about to burn. Sandra moved fast. She abandoned the monitors, took the service stairs 3 at a time, and positioned herself in the shadows of the main foyer. Her hands were shaking, but her mind was crystal clear, the same clarity her mother had described right before the Yakuza executed her in a Manila warehouse. Baby girl, when the moment comes, you don't think, you just move. She heard his footsteps on the stone driveway, heard the heavy door begin to open. And when Kang Park stepped into his house, Sandra Wilfred did something that should have gotten her killed. She grabbed the most dangerous man in Busan and clamped her hand over his mouth. "Jo Young-hee," she whispered against his ear, "keep quiet." She felt his body coil like a spring, felt the violence gathering in his muscles. His hand caught her wrist in a grip that could snap bone. "Mr. Park, it's Sandra, please." He froze. She released him slowly. They stood in the darkness, 2 people who'd existed in the same house for 8 years, but had never really seen each other, until now. His eyes were black murder in the moonlight. "What the hell are you doing?" "Saving your son's life." Her voice didn't shake, couldn't shake, not now. "But if you make a sound, if anyone knows you're home, Ji-Hoon dies tonight. So does everything you think you know about your life." She watched his face, watched the Iron Dragon process threat assessment, calculate angles of attack, measure her body language for deception. "Where is my son?" "In his room, alive, for now." Sandra glanced at the stairs, then back. "But your wife isn't who you think she is. This house isn't what you think it is. And in about 40 minutes, men are coming through that door to kill both of you." She stepped back, giving him space, gambling everything on 8 years of watching him be a terrible husband, but a father who tried. "You can kill me right now if you want, Mr. Park. God knows you're good at it." Her eyes were steady. Or you can follow me downstairs and see what I've been recording every night for 6 months. Your choice." The silence stretched like a blade. Then Kang Park took off his shoes, about to enter what he never planned for. Hi, my beautiful family. Thank you for sticking around with me through our trying times. I really appreciate your love and support. We're finally back again to give you another beautiful story. If you're already hooked in for today's story and ready to enjoy it, click subscribe and let me know in the comments where you're watching from, because something new is coming and you don't want to miss it. Back to our story. The hidden room smelled like dust and old electronics and secrets that had fermented in the dark too long. Sandra's hands trembled as she powered up the monitors. Behind her, Kang Park stood perfectly still, the kind of stillness that came before earthquakes. She could feel his presence like a loaded gun pressed against her spine. "Your father built this during the territorial wars in the 90s, she said, not looking at him, when trust was expensive and paranoia kept you alive. I know my family's history." "Do you?" She pulled up the first video file. "Because Min Ah had the security system upgraded 2 years ago, told you the old equipment was removed. It wasn't. She just thought it was." The screen flickered to life. Ji-Hoon's bedroom, 3 weeks ago, 11:47 p.m. according to the timestamp. His son was kneeling on the hardwood floor in his tiger print pajamas, the ones Sandra had bought him because they made him laugh. He wasn't laughing now. His small hands were clasped in front of him, and even through the grainy footage, she could see he was shaking. Min Ah entered the frame. She moved with that same elegant grace she showed at charity galas and political dinners, shoulders back, spine straight, every gesture measured and deliberate. She wore a silk robe that probably cost more Sandra made in 6 months. In her right hand, she carried a riding crop. "Stupid boy." Min Ah's voice was ice wrapped in contempt. "You embarrass me. You embarrass this family." "I'm sorry, Mommy. I didn't mean to." "Didn't mean to what? Exist? Breathe my air?" She circled him slowly. "Your father thinks you'll be strong like him, but I see the truth. You're weak, pathetic." Sandra heard Kang's breathing change behind her, heard something crack, probably his knuckles. On screen, Min Ah stopped in front of Ji-Hoon. "Say it. Say what you are." I'm weak." Louder. "I'm weak." The riding crop came down across his back. Ji-Hoon's body jerked, but he didn't cry out, just bit his lip until blood appeared at the corner of his mouth. Again. Another strike. This time, Ji-Hoon fell forward, catching himself on his hands. "Say your father is weak too. Say the Iron Dragon is a fool who doesn't see what's happening in his own house." "Daddy is..." Ji-Hoon was sobbing now, silent tears streaming down his face. "Daddy is weak." Min Ah smiled, actually smiled. "Good boy. Now go to sleep, and remember, if you tell anyone, I'll make sure Daddy has an accident. Do you understand?" Ji-Hoon nodded frantically. "Do you understand?" "Yes, Mommy." Sandra paused the video. The silence in the room was suffocating. When she finally turned around, Kang Park's face was a mask of something beyond rage, something colder, more precise. His eyes had gone completely dead, the way they looked in the photographs she'd seen from his early days, when he was just a young enforcer making his reputation in blood. "How long?" His voice was barely a whisper. 6 months that I can prove, but I think longer." Sandra pulled up a folder. "There are 46 more videos. It escalates. Last week she..." "Show me. Mr. Park, show me." She clicked on the most recent file. Ji-Hoon was in the bathroom, sitting in an empty tub. Min Ah was pouring ice water over his head. "This is what happens to weak things. They freeze, they die. Is that what you want?" The boy was shaking so hard his teeth were chattering. No, Mommy. Then be stronger or disappear. Kang moved so fast Sandra barely saw it. His fist went through the concrete wall beside the monitor, punching straight through rebar and plaster like it was paper. Blood dripped from his knuckles, but his voice stayed quiet, controlled. You didn't come to me. Sandra met his eyes. Because 6 months ago, I tried. I called your office, told your assistant I had urgent family business to discuss. You know what happened? He said nothing. Min Ah found out. She came to my room that night and told me if I ever contacted you directly again, she'd have my visa revoked and make sure I was arrested at the airport for theft. She had documents ready, forged evidence that I'd been stealing from the house. Sandra's voice hardened. But that wasn't the threat that stopped me. What was? She said she'd kill Ji-Hoon and make it look like an accident, a fall down the stairs, a drowning in the pool, and you'd never know it was her. Sandra pulled up another file. This one was just audio. She recorded herself saying it, wanted me to know she'd thought it through. She pressed play. Min Ah's voice filled the tiny room, cold and factual, describing exactly how she'd kill a 6-year-old boy and make it look natural. Kang Park closed his eyes. When he opened them again, Sandra saw something she'd never seen before in the Iron Dragon. Tears. Just 2, cutting tracks down his face before he wiped them away with his bloody hand. My son asked me last month why I was never home. His voice cracked. I told him I was building something for his future, building a legacy. You were building a prison, Sandra said quietly, and she was waiting for you to finish it. Kang Park had dismembered Min for smaller betrayals than this. He'd burned down entire operations, erased family lines, made people disappear so thoroughly their own mothers forgot their names. Violence was a language he spoke fluently, with eloquence and precision. But standing in that basement room, watching his wife torture his son through grainy footage, he felt something he hadn't experienced since childhood: helplessness. I need to go upstairs, his voice was grated. I need to get Ji-Hoon out of this house, now. Sandra stepped in front of the door. And then what? Then I deal with her. How? You'll kill her in front of your son? Sandra's eyes were fierce. You'll traumatize him more than he already is, make him watch his father murder his mother? She's not his mother. Mothers don't... He couldn't finish the sentence. You're right, she's not. Sandra pulled out her phone, showed him a photograph. This is my mother, Sandra Wilfred. Recognize her? Kang steadied the image. A beautiful black woman in her 30s, standing in what looked like a Manila nightclub. Something about her face nagged at his memory. Should I? 15 years ago, your family was in a territorial dispute with the Yamamoto clan. Someone betrayed your father's shipping routes to the Yakuza, someone inside your organization. Sandra's voice was steady, but her hands shook. The Yamamotos needed a scapegoat, someone expendable, someone foreign. The memory clicked into place like a blade sliding home. The American woman, Kang's voice went quiet. She was working at one of our clubs. They said she was the informant. She wasn't. She was a dancer trying to send money home to 2 daughters in Newark, but she was convenient. Sandra's jaw clenched. The Yamamotos executed her in a warehouse, streamed it to your father as a message, and your family let it happen because it was easier than the truth. What truth? That the real informant was someone your father trusted, someone with connections to both organizations. Sandra pulled up another file, old surveillance photos, grainy and dated. Someone who was engaged to your father's top lieutenant at the time. The photo showed a younger Min Ah sitting in a restaurant with a man Kang recognized instantly. Kenji Yamamoto, current head of the Yamamoto clan. They were lovers, Sandra said flatly. Still are, from what I can tell. Your marriage wasn't just political arrangement, Mr. Park. It was an infiltration. She's been feeding information to the Yamamotos for 12 years. Kang's mind was racing, clicking through every business deal, every negotiation, every territorial dispute that had gone wrong in the last decade. The failed expansion in Osaka, the ambushed shipment in Incheon, the assassination attempt last year that killed 3 of his best men. Why tell me this now? Why not go to the police? To who? Sandra laughed bitterly. Half the police force is on your payroll, the other half is on hers, and I'm a Black American housekeeper with an expired work visa making accusations about one of the most powerful families in South Korea. She stepped closer. I stayed because of Ji-Hoon, because my mother died because nobody protected her, and I'll be damned if I let another child suffer because the adults around them are too busy playing Empire. Kang turned back to the monitors. Ji-Hoon's room was empty now, the boy finally asleep after whatever fresh hell Min-ah had put him through. The Osaka meeting, he said slowly. It was too easy. They wanted you out of the country. They wanted you dead, but you came home early. Sandra pulled up a text message thread on her laptop, messages between Min-ah and an unknown number. At 2 a.m. tonight, men are coming through your east gate. The security codes have already been changed. They're going to make it look like a rival clan hit. Kill you and Ji-Hoon, leave Min-ah as the grieving widow who inherits everything.
Kang checked his watch. 12:47 a.m. 1 hour and 13 minutes. I can have 50 men here in 20 minutes. And start a war that gets Ji-Hoon killed in the crossfire? Mr. Park, your wife has been planning this for years. You think she doesn't have contingencies? Sandra shook her head. You call your men, she gets a notification. You try to run, they're already at every exit. You try to kill her, Ji-Hoon watches his father become the monster she's been telling him he is. Then what do you suggest? Sandra took a deep breath. We do what my mother never got the chance to do. We disappear, completely, tonight. Kang stared at her like she'd suggested flying to the moon. I am the Iron Dragon. I don't run. No, Sandra said quietly, but maybe it's time you stopped being the Iron Dragon and started being Ji-Hoon's father. The words hit harder than any bullet he'd ever taken. Kang Park built his empire on never backing down, but looking at Sandra's desperate certainty, he realized she wasn't asking him to run from a fight. She was asking him to choose which battle actually mattered. Disappear how? His voice was low. I have enemies on 3 continents. The Yamamotos have resources that I've been studying for 6 months. Sandra pulled out a burner phone and manila envelope. I know what you are, Mr. Park, but I also know you love that boy upstairs more than your empire. She was right. God help him, she was right. Sandra spread documents across the desk, fake passports, bank accounts, airline tickets. Cargo ship leaving Busan port at 4 a.m. Captain owes me a favor, takes us to Cape Town in 18 days. South Africa? Small coastal town called Hermanus. I have a contact there, someone who helps people disappear. She showed him a photograph of a modest beach house. Paid cash, shell company tracing to a dead woman in Argentina. They'll never find it. Kang studied the forgeries with a criminal's eye. Excellent work, better than some he'd commissioned. The financial trail was labyrinthian, routed through 12 countries. Who taught you this? My mother. Before the Yamamotos killed her, she was planning our escape. Sandra's voice caught. She had everything ready, just ran out of time. If we do this, I lose everything. My organization, my reputation. Your life, Sandra cut him off. They're killing you in an hour. You're not losing anything. You're choosing what to save. A sound from upstairs made them freeze. Footsteps, light, deliberate. Sandra checked the monitor. Min-ah was awake, walking through the hallway in her silk robe, checking rooms. She paused outside Ji-Hoon's door, hand on the knob. Then moved on, heading toward the master bedroom, where Kang should have been sleeping. She's looking for you, Sandra whispered. If she realizes you're here early. Then the timeline moves up, Kang mind calculated. 30 minutes, maybe less. Then we move now. I'll get Ji-Hoon. You pack 1 bag, nothing sentimental, nothing traceable. Service entrance in 10 minutes. Kang grabbed her arm. Why are you doing this? Really, you could have run months ago. Sandra met his eyes with grief that had calcified into purpose. Because I was 7 when the Yamamoto sent my mother's body back in a box marked medical waste. Because powerful men destroy people like us and call it business. Because Ji-Hoon has my nightmares. Because somebody has to break the cycle. She pulled free and headed for the stairs. 10 minutes, Mr. Park. Don't wake your wife. Kang moved through his house like a ghost haunting his own life. Every room was a monument to wealth he'd bled for. Italian marble, Korean art worth millions, furniture crafted by master artisans. His closet held suits that cost more than cars. His safe contained enough cash to fund a small army. He took none of it. He grabbed a duffel bag and packed like a man preparing for war. 3 changes of clothes, burner laptop with encrypted files, 1 handgun with 2 magazines, the stuffed tiger from Ji-Hoon's first birthday, the one his son thought he'd lost, and from his desk drawer, a photograph he hadn't looked at in years. His father, young and smiling, holding infant Kang on his shoulders, back when the Park legacy was just a dream instead of a dynasty. I'm sorry, Aboji, but some legacies need to die. He was zipping the bag when he heard it. Ji-Hoon's voice, small and terrified from upstairs. Mommy, please, I'll be good, I promise. Kang's blood turned to ice. He took the stairs 3 at the time, every instinct screaming to storm in, to end this, to make Men-Ah suffer the way she'd made his son suffer. But Sandra was already there, standing in the hallway, holding Ji-Hoon's hand. The boy's eyes went wide. Daddy? In that moment, Kang Park realized the Iron Dragon had to die tonight, so his son could finally live. Ji-Hoon looked smaller than Kang remembered. 6 years old, but moving like a soldier, shoulders hunched, eyes scanning for threats, every muscle coiled for the next blow. Sandra had dressed him in dark clothes, and the boy clutched his tiger with white-knuckled desperation. Daddy? His voice was barely a whisper. Are you real? The question broke something in Kang's chest. He knelt down, making himself small. I'm real, Adul. I'm here. Ji-Hoon's lip trembled. Mommy said you don't come home because I'm bad. No! Kang's voice cracked. You are perfect, and Daddy was wrong to stay away. The boy started crying, silent tears that spoke of months learning sound meant punishment. Kang pulled him close, felt his son shaking, and understood he'd failed at the only thing that mattered. Sandra touched his shoulder. We need to move. But Ji-Hoon pulled back, eyes wide with terror. We can't leave. Mommy said if I try to leave, she'll hurt Miss Sandra. She'll make her disappear like the other lady. Like who, baby? Sandra knelt beside them. The lady before you came. She read me stories and made me laugh. Then one day I told her I wished she was my mommy instead. And then she was gone. When was this? Kang demanded. Before Miss Sandra. I was really little. Sandra's face went pale. The housekeeper before me, do you remember her name? Kang searched his memory. 8 years ago, barely home, expanding into Japan. Park Soo-yeon. Min-ah said she quit, moved to Jeju Island. Did you verify that? He hadn't. Sandra's fingers flew across her phone. 30 seconds later, her face confirmed everything. Soo-yeon Park was reported missing 8 years ago, never found. Last known location was this address. The basement felt like a tomb. How many people has she killed? Kang's voice was dead calm. I don't know, but there's more. Sandra pulled up a video file. 4 months ago, the camera in Min-ah's study glitched, caught this when she thought it was off. Min-ah on the phone, speaking fluid Japanese. Kenji-san, the timeline is accelerating. He's becoming suspicious. Kenji Yamamoto's voice. Then we move to final phase. The child?
An unfortunate casualty. Once Park is dead, the syndicate falls to me as widow. I sign it over to you. We split profits, and I finally leave this miserable country. And us? Min-ah laughed coldly. Darling, I've been yours since I was 19. This whole marriage was foreplay. 12 years. 12 years of marriage, and every moment had been theater. The boy? Kang asked. He looks too much like his father. Her voice turned vicious. Loose ends are dangerous. The child dies with Park. Rival clan kills them both. I'll play the grieving widow beautifully. The video ended. Ji-Hoon stared at the screen, trying to process what his mind couldn't understand. Mommy wants to hurt me? Sandra pulled him close. Not anymore, baby. Kang stood, body vibrating with rage so pure it felt like ice. Every instinct screamed to go upstairs and end Min-ah the way he'd ended hundreds before her. But Sandra's voice cut through the haze. If you kill her now, the Yamamotos still come. They still hunt Ji-Hoon. You'll be the monster she said you were. Then what? We let her think she won. We leave bodies behind. Kang understood immediately. Fake our deaths? I've been stockpiling medical supplies in the service garage, blood bags, enough for a convincing scene. Sandra's eyes were hard. The Yamamotos come at 2 a.m. expecting to do the job. Instead, they find you and Ji-Hoon already dead. Murder-suicide. Father couldn't take the pressure. Min-ah plays a devastated widow. They have no reason to keep looking. And we're already on that cargo ship? Already ghosts. Ji-Hoon tugged Kang's sleeve. Daddy, I'm scared. Kang lifted his son, held him the way he should have for 6 years. Miss Sandra is very smart, and Daddy is very good at fighting. We're not going to let anyone hurt you ever again. Promise? It was the easiest promise Kang had ever made. I promise. The service garage smelled of motor oil and the silence that comes before everything changes. Sandra worked quickly, hands steady despite the impossible thing they were doing. Medical blood bags sat in a cooler she'd hidden 3 weeks ago. Syringes, latex gloves, theatrical makeup from a Seoul supplier who didn't ask questions. You've done this before, Kang observed. YouTube and desperation make you capable of surprising things. She drew blood from his arm with practiced efficiency, enough for the scene to be convincing, not enough to weaken him. Ji-Hoon sat in the corner, hugging his tiger, watching with those 2 old eyes. Does it hurt? The boy asked. A little, Kang admitted, but nothing like what you've been through, Adul. Ji-Hoon considered this. Miss Sandra gives me band-aids when Mommy hurts me, the ones with tigers on them. She sings to me when I can't sleep, the song about Amazing Grace. My mother used to sing that to me when I was scared. Were you scared a lot?
Yes, me too. The simple honesty hung in the air like a prayer. Kang watched them, this woman who'd risked everything for a child that wasn't hers, and his son who'd survived on stolen moments of kindness. Shame burned through him. Sandra, after tonight, you don't owe us anything. There's money in my bag, enough to start over anywhere. You can disappear separately. Mr. Park, she cut him off gently. I'm not doing this for money, and I'm not leaving Ji-Hoon. Why not? Because for 6 months, I've been the only person standing between that child and complete darkness. Her eyes glistened. Because maybe saving him saves something in me that the Yamamotos tried to kill when they murdered my mother. This wasn't rescue. This was redemption for both of them. What was she like, your mother? Sandra smiled, sad and beautiful. Fierce, funny. She worked 3 jobs to keep me and my sister fed, sent money home from Manila even though she knew the men who ran those clubs were criminals. She was brave. She was desperate,
There's a difference. Sandra's voice hardened. Your world chews up women like my mother and spits them out, uses them, discards them, buries them in unmarked graves. I know. Do you? Because you built an empire on the same system that killed her. The truth sat between them like a blade. You're right, Kang said quietly. I told myself it was business, that I was protecting my family. He looked at Ji-Hoon. But I wasn't protecting anything. I was just feeding a machine that destroys everything it touches. Ji-Hoon stood suddenly, walked over and climbed into Kang's lap. He put his small hand on his father's chest, right over his heart. It's beating really fast, like mine does when I'm scared. Kang wrapped his arms around his son. I am scared, Adele. But you're the Iron Dragon. Miss Sandra said you're the strongest man in the city. Being strong doesn't mean you're not scared. It means you do the right thing even when you are. Ji-Hoon processed this. Is running away the right thing? Yes. Will we ever come back? Kang thought about his empire, his reputation, everything he'd built over 20 years. Then he looked at his son's face, at the bruises, at the fear living behind his eyes. No, we won't. Good. Ji-Hoon rested his head against his father's chest. I don't like it here. Sandra finished preparing the blood bags, setting up the scene in the master bedroom, splatter patterns suggesting violence, positioning indicating murder-suicide. She'd been planning this for weeks. When we get to South Africa, things will be different. No empire, just 3 people trying to figure out how to be normal. I've never been normal in my life, Mr. Park. Me neither. Maybe we can learn together. She smiled, the first real smile he'd seen from her. Maybe we can. Ji-Hoon yawned. Will there be a beach? Yes, Sandra said, a beautiful beach where you can play and be loud and no one will hurt you for it. Will I learn to swim? Absolutely. Will Daddy be there, not working? Kang felt his throat tighten. Daddy will be there every single day. Promise? I promise. The boy's eyes were closing. That sounds nice. Sandra checked her watch. 40 minutes before the ship leaves, 20 before the Yamamotos arrive. They'd staged everything perfectly. By the time anyone found the scene, they'd be at sea. The Iron Dragon would be dead. And maybe Kang Park could finally learn to be someone worth his son's trust. They were 15 minutes from freedom when everything fell apart. Sandra had just finished the blood spatter in the master bedroom when they heard it. The front gate opening. 30 minutes early. It's all we have. Footsteps closer. A voice in Japanese. Check the service wing. Sandra looked at Ji-Hoon. He's 6. That water's freezing. The current could... I know what I'm asking, but if we stay, he dies for certain. Ji-Hoon pulled away, looked up. Will it hurt? Yes. More than Mommy? The question destroyed Kang. No, Adul, never more than that. Then I can do it. I can be brave. They moved to the back door, easing onto the lawn leading to the cliff edge. The sea churned below, dark and hungry. Behind them, rooms being searched, getting closer. Don't let go of him, Sandra whispered, no matter what. I won't. And Mr. Park, my name is Sandra Wilfred. If we die tonight, I want someone to know I tried. We're not going to die. They were 10 feet from the cliff when the back door burst open. 5 men, weapons drawn, flashlights cutting through darkness, and Min-Ah, elegant in silk. She looked at Kang with pity. You weren't supposed to come home early. You ruined everything. You were going to kill our son. Your son. I never wanted him, never wanted any of this. She gestured at everything. 12 years playing dutiful wife to a thug who thinks violence makes him powerful. Ji-Hoon whimpered. Min-Ah's eyes snapped to him with pure hatred. Weak, pathetic little thing.
He's 6 years old. Sandra's voice was fury. Min-ah laughed. And you, the help, did you think you could save them? You're as disposable as your whore mother. Sandra lunged, handgun raised, rage propelling her forward. The Yakuza men opened fire. Sandra went down. No! Ji-Hoon screamed. Everything slowed. Kang saw Sandra fall, saw the blood, saw his son breaking free toward her, saw weapons turning toward Ji-Hoon, and then he moved. 20 years of violence condensed into 3 seconds. Kang grabbed his son with one arm, scooped Sandra's falling body with the other, and ran straight toward the cliff edge. "Daddy, no!" "Hold your breath, Adul." They went over together, father, son, and the woman who tried to save them, tumbling through air while bullets tore through space they just occupied. The ocean rose up like a wall, and the Iron Dragon fell. Have you ever had to choose between impossible options, knowing someone you love might not survive either one? Share your thoughts below. The ocean hit like concrete wrapped in ice. Kang's world became chaos, salt burning, water crushing his lungs, darkness so complete he couldn't tell up from down. His arms locked around 2 bodies, one small and rigid with terror, the other limp and bleeding. Ji-Hoon was screaming underwater, precious air escaping in silver bubbles. Kang kicked hard, following instinct. His lungs screamed. Sandra's weight dragged them down. They broke the surface gasping. "Breathe, Adul!" Ji-Hoon coughed and sobbed, clinging to his father. "Miss Sandra isn't moving." Kang repositioned, getting Sandra's face above water. Blood streamed from her shoulder, dark ribbons dissolving into the sea. Her eyes were closed. "Sandra," he shook her, "stay with me." Her eyes fluttered. "Did we make it?" "Not yet. Stay awake." Cold, so cold. Above them, flashlights swept the water, shouting in Japanese, someone calling for boats. "They're coming," Ji-Hoon whimpered. Kang looked toward the fishing docks, 2 kilometers through freezing water, holding a wounded woman and a 6-year-old. The current pulled them parallel to shore, not toward it. Impossible. But impossible was all they had. "Ji-Hoon, hold on to Miss Sandra's other arm." "I'm scared." "I know, but she needs us. We're her family now, and family doesn't let go." The boy nodded, wrapping his arms around Sandra's arm, his tiger stuffed in his shirt. They started swimming. Every pull felt like moving through concrete. Sandra was dead weight, her blood creating a trail. Ji-Hoon kicked his small legs with everything he had, crying silently. "Talk to me, Sandra." He needed her conscious. "Tell me about your mother." She made sweet potato pie, best in Newark, said the secret was love and butter in equal measure. What else? She sang all the time, even when things were bad. A weak smile, especially when things were bad. Behind them, a boat engine fired up. "Daddy!" Ji-Hoon's voice was terror. "Keep swimming." They weren't going to make it. The boat was faster, docks too far, Sandra slipping away. Kang's arms were lead. "I'm sorry, Adul, I couldn't save you." Then a light ahead, different from the flashlights behind, coming from the fishing docks. A boat, old and rusted, moving toward them fast. At the helm, Captain Hong, the man who'd smuggled Kang's first shipments 20 years ago, who'd watched him rise, who still owed him a debt that couldn't be measured. The captain had been watching the house, had seen them jump. He pulled alongside, strong hands hauled them out of the water, Ji-Hoon first, then Sandra, then Kang. "Bullet wound," Captain Hong said in gruff Korean, examining Sandra. "She needs a hospital." Behind them, the Yakuza boat closed distance. Ahead, barely visible in darkness, the cargo ship blazed with lights, ready to depart. They had minutes. Ji-Hoon looked up. "Are we going to make it?"
Kang pulled his son close, held Sandra's bleeding hand, and made a choice that 20 years ago would have been impossible. Yes, Abdul, we're going to make it. The old boat surged forward, engines screaming, racing against bullets and time, and the empire Kang Park was leaving to burn behind him. And for the first time in 20 years, he felt something close to peace. The cargo ship's horn split the night as Captain Hong pushed his boat to its limits. Behind them, the Yakuza vessel gained ground, searchlights sweeping across dark water. Sandra's breathing had gone shallow, blood soaked through makeshift bandages. "Stay with us," Kang pressed harder on the wound. "You don't get to die after all this." Her eyes opened briefly. "My mother, did she fight at the end? I don't know. I hope she made them remember her name." "They'll remember yours," Ji-Hoon whispered through tears. The cargo ship loomed ahead. Captain Hong fired flares, an old smuggler's signal. The ship's engines idled, rope ladders dropped. The Yakuza boat closed to 200 meters, bullets stitched across the water. Captain Hong grunted as something hit his side. He didn't stop steering. "Captain!" "I'm fine. Get ready to jump." They pulled alongside. Kang lifted Sandra first. Crew members hauled her up, screaming. Ji-Hoon climbed next, small fingers finding impossible holds. "Daddy?" "Right behind you." Kang turned to Captain Hong. The old man was bleeding badly, face gray. "Come on, you're not dying here. Someone has to delay them." He pulled a pistol. "Besides, I'm 83. I've had a good run." He smiled, blood on his teeth. "Go be the man your father wanted you to be, Park, not the one you became." The Yakuza boat was 50 meters away. Captain Hong pushed Kang toward the ladder. "Go!" Kang climbed. Below, the old captain turned his boat toward the approaching vessel, engine roaring one last time. The collision was spectacular. Captain Hong stood at the helm like an ancient warrior, firing until empty. They killed him in seconds, but those seconds were enough. 18 days at sea gave them time to bury one life and imagine another. Sandra survived, barely. The ship's medic had been a field surgeon in another life. By day 6, Sandra was sitting up. By day 12, she was walking the deck, Ji-Hoon never leaving her side. Kang spent the journey teaching his son to tie knots, to read stars, to laugh without fear. "What will you do in South Africa?" Sandra asked one evening. "Carpentry, maybe. My father taught me before everything." "The Iron Dragon building furniture." "Not the dragon, just David. Fresh start, fresh name." "What about you, Miss Sandra?" "Maybe I'll open a restaurant, cook my mother's recipes." "Love and butter in equal measure," Ji-Hoon recited. "You remembered." "I remember everything you taught me." On the 18th day, Table Mountain rose from the sea like a promise. The house in Hermananas was modest, blue-shuttered, 50 meters from a beach where whales came to breed. The first morning, David made pancakes while Sandra taught Ji-Hoon to scramble eggs. The boy laughed when flour went everywhere. "I like it here," Ji-Hoon announced. "Nobody's angry." "Nobody will ever be angry at you again," David promised. They spent days at the beach. Ji-Hoon learned to swim, shrieking with joy. Sandra taught him songs her mother had sung. David built furniture, his hands remembering abandoned skills. Slowly, carefully, they became real. 6 months later, David sat at a beachside cafe, watching his son chase seagulls while Sandra read in the sand. A newspaper lay on the table. The park syndicate had collapsed. With the Iron Dragon dead, lieutenants had turned on each other. Min Ah had been found dead in Seoul. Suicide, the report said. David felt nothing. She was a closed chapter in a book he'd never open again. "Daddy!" Ji-Hoon ran up, breathless. "Can we get ice cream?" "After dinner." But Sandra said, "Nice try." Sandra appeared behind him. "I said maybe if you finish your vegetables." Ji-Hoon groaned dramatically. David and Sandra exchanged smiles, the kind that happened between people who'd walked through fire together. That evening, David stood in his workshop finishing a rocking chair. Through the window, he watched Sandra and Ji-Hoon dancing in the kitchen to music only they could hear. His son was laughing, actually laughing, full-bodied joy that came from safety, not performance. The Iron Dragon had ruled an empire, but David Park had something better, a second chance. Some empires fall in war. His fell in love, for a boy who deserved better, for a woman who refused to let evil win, for the man he'd forgotten he could become. And in a small coastal town in South Africa, far from the blood and violence and the name that once made men tremble, they built something the Iron Dragon never could: a home.
Thank you, my beautiful family, for watching this story to the end. Wow, what a journey, right? From the cliffs of Busan to the peaceful shores of South Africa, Kang Park lost everything to gain what truly mattered. Sandra risked it all for a child who wasn't hers, and little Ji-Hoon finally found the safety every child deserves. But here's my question for you. If you discovered a terrible secret about someone's family, something that could get you killed, would you risk everything to tell them? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. Now, if you enjoyed this story and it moved you the way it moved me, you absolutely cannot miss the next one. Trust me when I say it's even more intriguing, more shocking, and will leave you completely speechless. I'm talking about secrets, impossible choices, and a twist you will never see coming. Click on the image showing on your screen right now to watch the next story. Don't let this one pass you by. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now so you never miss these incredible stories. See you in the next one, family. Stay blessed.